that you were beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your day with me. Taking a moment, seeing it live or seeing this recorded. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. It is Wednesday. And when it's Wednesday, it's time for financial empowerment. We got something extra today, something exciting, I hope, today. No, I was thinking about you, thinking about your health and your wealth. And I said, you know what? This is a great day to talk about financial fitness and the connection in our complete living, how we can complete everything, our whole life, put it all together. So I'm taking fitness principles and applying them to financial principles. And click if you can see the invitation to members. If you'd like to come in the studio, tell us a little bit, Snoopy D, about what works for you, how you have grown up to be such a healthy woman. Give us some feedback from Stone Mountain, Georgia. We appreciate you. I am JB Bryan, JB Bryan of JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of Afro Economics, a registered investment advisory firm. And I love helping you continue your financial growth, your life growth. There are 10 principles, 10 key principles to Afro economics. It's about our whole lives, not just part of our life, not just money. It's about everything. 10 principles of Afro economics. Make sure that you get the book. If you're a member and you don't have your book, like I got to send the actual book to Stone Mountain, Georgia, I got to send it. Send it. And then we also have a workbook and the kids book somewhere, and the 10 principles. That's right. Fitness firming financials. Tell them, Tracy. That first principle, legacy, self-reliance. Second principle. Third principle, organization. Check yourself, right? The fourth principle, knowledge. What you don't know can hurt you. Fifth principle, integrity, the soul of your money. And using the symbol Jianyame, every principle of Afro economics has an Adikra symbol with it. The sixth principle, review and accountability. That's where check yourself comes in. Seventh principle, the fearless entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur a long time. And we even have I want to help you build your business. I want to make sure that you have advantages that I didn't have. And that's why I created the entrepreneurship membership for the person who really wants to have an entrepreneur that is helping them along the way. And that would be me helping you along the way. Many, many, many members of Afro Economics are entrepreneurs. During their careers, after their work life, they created their own businesses. That's what we do. The eighth principle, credit confidence. Come on in, Mr. Jenkins. Come on in the studio. Yes, indeed. You symbol of great health you are. Credit confidence. Eighth principle. Ninth principle, determination. Make your dreams come true. And the 10th principle that we're talking about today, Black health and Black wealth. We're talking about both your health and your wealth. That's it today. Financial fitness, living your best life. You're going to be amazed how I got this all together. You're going to be amazed, like how important it is to protect your health, how important it is to protect your health so that you're protecting your wealth. Because if you have to spend all your money on a health problem, then you're not taking care of your wealth. You're spending it. No. So, and I'm not talking about that the inevitable, we're all going to pass one day. I'm talking about expanding our health span. You know how they talk about lifespan? People are living longer, longevity. But what's happening is that people are living longer, but their health span is getting shorter. Health span. Yes. The years that you spend healthy, that's what we want to increase. You know, like coming to America, and the second one, and James Earl Jones says it's time to die, and he dies. He died. He was able to control when he died because he had a close relationship with God, and he was in control of his health. He was increasing his health span. His health span. I thought that was crazy part. The movie. He said, "I'm dying now." He died. But when you focus on your health span, right, James, Hannah, yeah. When you focus on your health span, then you're allowing yourself to have more healthy years. You know, and a lot of times people will make an excuse for not doing what's best for them by saying you're going to die from something. Well, they really haven't had a chance to see a person have a long, slow death. They really probably haven't. Because if you saw that, then you would, and you see how much it costs, and how much it costs your family, and it costs your loved ones, you know, for some things that we could have done differently. So according to research I was looking at that keeps on coming out, but the newest research on longevity is that strength is a direct connection to living longer. Even your strength and even your grit, but your grip comes from your strength. But we too often are told when you go to have a basic visit, they'll go, "Oh, just go walking." But I've noticed that after something happens, then all of a sudden they send the client to physical therapy, like after a heart attack. Then they send them to physical therapy and they go, "Oh, we got to get your legs stronger." But what if we knew that already? The research is showing stronger legs help your heart. Strength helps your heart. Muscles push your lymphatic system. They push our veins. They push our circulation. They push. So we cannot just age and stop giving our heart the help that it needs. So there's this push now of everybody getting skinny. But now they realize that even if you take the skinny shot, then it'll get you skinny, but it can, if you don't lose weight properly, you'll lose your muscle. So it will cause you to age faster and eventually reduce your health span because you need that muscle. So what you have to do in your attempt, for many people that are trying to lose weight, they have to make sure that they lose weight the healthy way by looking at a body composition monitor. There's cheap scales you can get off Amazon. Look it up. Body composition now, less than $100, some of them. Body composition, so that as you are losing weight, you know what you're losing. You can't wait till 6 months with the doctor after a year for your year visit at the doctor, and you go in and you go, "You lost 20 pounds." And you're so excited. So you're so excited. Well, what will happen? You might gain fat. If you gain it back, most likely, if they don't know about the importance of strength, they'll gain back fat or water, retaining fluid. and the muscles can't help them. They don't have the muscles to help them get that fluid out. They don't have that muscles to help you. Now they've gained weight and their legs could be weaker. Their arms could be weaker. And they're carrying this weight, and the heart, the blood pressure could possibly elevate because you don't have anything to help the heart because they've lost that. And if they gain it back and they don't know their body composition, they could be gaining back fat where they used to have muscle. So I have seen some fitness health professionals say, now I'm talking about research doctors, because a lot of times you go to an MD, but if you go and you study the PhDs of exercise science and look at the studies on health span and longevity, and they'll explain to you that especially for someone that's 65 and older, they should be focusing on strength. And I saw that happening with my mother. And when she had a procedure, my mother had a procedure and it stopped her from walking and moving around as much. And then once she stopped walking and moving around as much, she didn't want the physical therapy. Everything was hurting her. But I saw the muscle loss happening from when she had her gallbladder removed 20 years prior. And I said to the doctor, please explain to my mother what it means when you take out the gallbladder. And their reply was, well, this is a very common surgery for fair-skinned people. Basically saying, that a whole bunch of white-looking people, well, my mother was black, but she looked white. And they were saying that because she was so fair, that this is the most common surgery. That does not mean that she doesn't need to learn about nutrition. I said, well, could we just make sure that when she realizes she has no gallbladder, that means a difference in the diet and how she processes her nutrition and everything, because these things don't happen over time. You don't develop muscle in a day. You don't build wealth in a day. The way we build wealth, how your money is growing and growing and growing and compounding return is the exact same way doing the right thing for your body does it. When they study even cancer cells, they have found, I've seen the research that says that cancer cells often start 20 years prior to when you see it. Way back. So the 20 years prior, when these things are happening, that's when the healthy habits are really, really important. So the 20 years prior for my mother and taking out the gallbladder and her then developing digestion where she was not getting any nutrition from her food, I saw her muscle mass leave. My mother didn't lift weights, but she had a muscle. She had the muscle to her. Grew up on a farm. She had the muscle. So she was living off good habits from a kid. But once they could not get fed, muscles have to be fed. You have to eat. I can see a direct connection between when I'm getting enough protein and when I'm not getting enough protein. It is vital. We have to have the proper nutrients. So you see a lot of our community is doing things that is actually killing their body, and the body is not getting any nutrition. If you start doing plant-based stuff coming out of a box and you think that you're going to get enough to keep your body healthy, and then you look at yourself and you go, why do I look flabby? You're not getting the nutrition. When I was vegan, Because I was convinced. I was convinced that my grandmother had her heart attack because she ate meat. So when I was in college, I stopped eating all meat. And my father warned me. He said, you know, meat is not the worst thing. But at this point, you know everything. Yeah, Dad, but just meat's horrible. It's just horrible. You know, so I just stopped eating it. But I didn't feel like it was a problem to eat French fries. I saw research the other day that said that one French fry is equal to smoking a cigarette. The fried French fries from the fried place. Equal to smoking a cigarette. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I was doing that. Now, I haven't had a fried food, you know, in probably 20 years now. I don't eat fried food. But my weakness, I had some fried oysters about a month or so ago. Now that I think about it. But typically now, because I was at the restaurant now we're going down the menu and it said fried oysters. Whoa, oh my goodness. Maybe it's a little bit better than eating the French fries. I don't know. Or probably like the oyster. They're probably like, no, the oysters are worse. You had 2 packs of cigarettes. That was equal to 2 packs. It was the only good thing about oysters is they cost so much. They don't give you that many and they charge you a lot. So I didn't go too bad on that one. But typically I don't. But we can. My point there is that we can do things to correct. We think that we're correcting, you know, something. We think that, you know, this is better because certainly, you know, these things are bad when you're going from bad to worse. And it wasn't until I saw blood work, especially as a vegan. And as a vegan, I just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I thought to myself, well, elephants are vegans too, I guess, you know, but it was just bigger and bigger. And I did the blood work and I realized I was malnourished. Now here I was like 260 something pounds and my blood was thirsty. I was anemic and all this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It was crazy. I was like, I can't believe I'm doing that. I knew I was healthy. So a lot of the stuff is we don't know. And I went into a full movement. It, you know, early in my 20s that I was going to learn about nutrition the right way, the real way, which meant I was gonna have to spend money on it. Because that free stuff, I don't know what they're talking about. But you gotta get like somebody that really understands food, really, really understands food. And I'm gonna tell you, God made it really, really simple. If God made it, generally you can eat it. It's the processed stuff that really jacks us up. It's the man-made, synthetic, plant-based. Just eat a plant. Just eat the organic plant without the pesticides, without the chemicals on it. Just eat it. Just be as not like when I eat my meat, I eat organic grass-fed beef, organic chicken, That's why, Mr. Jefferson, it's so difficult for me to feel comfortable going to a restaurant without just losing my mind. Like sometimes you just have to close your mind off. You don't have to, but sometimes in life you choose to. And whenever I choose to do that, generally I'm stressing out. On Friday, it was stressful. And I was like, it's Friday and it's stressful. So that was an excuse. I thought that was an excuse to eat some sugar, knowing that I have cut the sugar out because I did the food sensitivity test and it said you are even sensitive to organic cane sugar. Don't even mess with that, girlfriend. That's what it said. My body was saying, leave the sugar alone. Limit the fruit. Keep moving forward. And I have felt so much better. So much better. Yes. When I focus on nothing processed, it's amazing. I have been like trying for a while to get my A1C below like 5.3. Like, I know y'all like, Lord, that's just great. But no, I want to know why it says 4.0, 4.8 to something, is good. I want to be closer because I figure, like my wellness center nurse said, I'm not normal. So if I don't want to be normal, because I don't want to be in there normal, my muscle is way past normal. I'm not normal for my age. That ain't our goal. We shouldn't have to be that. We want more money, don't you? Don't you want more money? We deserve more health. We deserve to enjoy it. We deserve to be the example to our children and our children's children that they will know. My grandma, my great grandkids will know my great grandma was running, sprinting in track when she was 80, 90 years old. That's my goal, to still be powerlifting. Yes, man will destroy. James Hanna said, man will destroy what God has given us for free. Mm, mm, mm. So true. I use on my face now castor oil. Somehow God like led me to it. And I'm telling you, that castor oil, not to be confused with baby oil, that castor oil, organic castor oil has been one of the best things for my face, my skin. And I have spent hundreds, thousands of dollars on moisturizers, cleansers, this and that, da. God made castor oil. And some cultures say, some cultures refer to castor oil as proof of God. I was just telling one of our members, he was saying that he's been having digestion problems and everything. And I was telling him about rubbing castor oil. Like I rub, like y'all can't see, but my stomach, like up here, last year, this time, like started just this lip, but this because I was eating processed food. And this section just started just swelling out, just swelling out. I stopped the processed food and it just went down. I'm telling you, it seemed like to me within days. I never drink, never smoke. If I had been drinking and smoking, I don't know if I'd still be here. But I was stressing. My mom died. My siblings don't want to talk to me. I felt really alone. I don't have a relationship. And I was using all that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that my daughter loves me. I know that I'm loved. I know that I have done right. I know, but it's still in that you can stress yourself out over stuff you can't control, that you will kill yourself slowly. Kill yourself. And I was still exercising. I got that part down. But it's once you leave, like I was telling this young lady at the gym today, she was like, saying that she felt so bad that she felt like she was going to regurgitate. And I was like, well, did you eat this morning? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, I'm glad you didn't eat, because before you came to work out, because you probably would have regurgitated. I said, but what about yesterday? Because she was saying that she was very sensitive to cheese. And, and she said, well, I know you're right. And I know I got to cut it. What is that? That makes us think it's okay to be broke. It's okay to be broken. It's okay to be sick. Like, what is that? That is not God's will. It is not God's will for us. God's will for us, let me speak affirmatively over all of us. God's will for us is good health. God's will for us is good health. He says, be anxious for nothing, and in all things be prayerful. So Friday, when I felt that feeling coming on, I started talking to God immediately. And I said, dear God, like, help me calm down. Help me go over to this Whole Foods. I went to Whole Foods. I got my favorite. I love these Asian sweet potatoes. I got the Asian sweet potatoes. And, got me a little ribeye. Got me some salmon. Left. And cooked it. Some organic broccoli I already had in the refrigerator. Like this morning, I just wanted to eat anything after I got home from the gym. And I said, no, I got the steak. I chopped up a steak because we're worthy. Sausage costs more than just getting real steak. That's what trips me out. If you looked at sausage processed, a lot of it has sugar in it. It costs more per pound than organic grass-fed meat. Yes. I was looking at that the other day. I was like, this is a processed sausage. But someone else did it. They took what God created and destroyed it. So we want, yes, Ms. Owens, God wants us to be healthy, and his plans are that we prosper. Yes. That's in John. It's in John. He said, I want your health. How, you know what I mean? I want you to prosper in health like you do in your spiritual life, in our life. The core of Afroeconomics is integrity, our relationship with God, Jinyame. It's full of scripture-based financial principles. Taking care of our good health is, thank you so much, Mr. Hannah. Thank God for you. It is the best financial move that we can make. Because once you have your health get so bad, because remember, what I don't want for my clients is diabetes type 3. So God, use me, please, Lord, to keep you from getting 2 or 1, and definitely not 3. Diabetes type 3, for many healthcare researchers, is showing the connection between killing our brain cells and the diabetes over the years. They want to say that Black people are more likely to get Alzheimer's, but that's not it. If they want to create a correlation, they can correlate with other things, like Black people are more likely to eat processed food. Black people are more likely to be stressed out in their work. Black people, these things stop. Like, once you're stressed out in your work, these things stop our ability to process the food. So I was telling you that I told the client who does have diabetes type 2, but is having the digestive problems, to put the castor oil on his belly, all over the liver. I didn't want to overwhelm him and say, and bro, don't smoke, don't drink, and don't eat any processed food. But if you want to feel better, I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. We don't need to be worried about the numbers of our age. What we need to be focused on is our healthy habits. There's not an age that exists where you can just let yourself go. There is not an age that exists that you don't deserve to be on the floor planking. Yes, Mr. Jenkins. Chronic stress, yes, Ms. Johnson, yes, that it leads to illness and makes things grow, makes toxic cells in our body grow faster. Sugar, processed sugar, all those sugars, even fructose, has some connection to making rogue cells like cancer cells, bad cells in our body want to grow. So we have to limit. Because I'm telling you, last year when I was saying that my liver, to me, that section was just blowing up like that, was because I was eating, and I know somebody don't believe this, I was eating a lot of watermelon. I was overdoing it with the watermelon. I have seen many research now that has shown overdoing it, Mr. Barden, overdoing it with the fruit will mess up your health. It still has to be measured. It still has to be limited. It still has to be maintained. Like fruit, everything that tastes sweet to your mouth, know that it has danger of creating a negative reaction in your body. But we need sugar. You do not need sugar. You've become addicted to the sugar. It helps us. It helps us process things, like just process life. We're all like searching for some sort of out when our out has to be in. Our out has to come from within us. Our joy has to come from within us. Our strength has to come from within us. You would be amazed. Like we always like try to think about, muscles, and you think that muscles are these big things that people have, but actually your strength is not a big thing. To become stronger, you do not have to become a bodybuilder. To become stronger, all I'm asking is that you just start getting on the floor and planking. And your plank, consider that the foundation of your financial life in setting a correlation. And I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to say it all, and then we're going to go back. We can come back and like discuss, but I want that I broke it into your financial fitness. Okay. I broke it into what it correlates with me is one, warming up. Now I'm going to have this so we have it recorded. The warm up, when you're first going, you start your day, you're getting started, you want to exercise for a while. Okay, then you should be doing something dynamic. How that relates to your financial life is your budget and your financial plan. That's the basis. You're just getting started. Your financial plan is we get a goal. We're setting that goal out there. Yes. Our second point I want to, so we'll warm up, the dynamic, doing some skipping, a basic skip, a skip. That's something we do in track, but it's changing your legs, but just skipping like when you were a little kid, jumping rope, lunges, you get your dynamic warm up. I encourage you to do more than just what we used to do in the make it dynamic, means make it move. That's the way your budget should be. Your budget should be dynamic. It should be changeable. Just because you spent $200 last week on going to the movies, that doesn't mean you go next week spending $200. But you're going to have to adjust something because you just spent $200. So you got to adjust something's got to go down. That's the flexibility. A second point is mobility. Making sure that you can squat down, your body weight. All you need is your body weight. We were doing one Friday and we were like, who can, like, I think Mr. Jenkins was just saying, like, I can just get up off the floor, without putting my hands anywhere. And I was like, wow, that's a good goal to have, but it takes a while. Like there's a lot of people who cannot, like, get up off the floor and have no hands involved. He was doing it like I will adjust my knees. Like he was doing it like Indian style and then like pushing it out from Indian style. I don't know about that one for me. But the if you can get up off the wall, off the floor without your hands, Mr. Barton, can you get up without using your hands?
No.
Right? What do you use? Like a little bit of your fingers?
Yeah.
A little bit of your fingers. That doesn't count. Maybe you use like 1 point because you did.
I
But
roll. I roll to one side. I roll to one side.
good for you. Good
Yeah,
and you have like your favorite side, huh?
that's right.
He is mobile. Don't get confused. Mr. Barden is light on his feet. He runs.
Mhm.
That's probably why you can't, because you run. And Mr. Jenkins, he rides the bicycle. That's really what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you use yours more. So it makes your ankles more sensitive. Where when he's riding the bike, he does, he's not. Like your running makes your ankles stiffer, most
Mm.
likely. Because I know with sprinting, you want us to have stiff ankles.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if I should do that. I can do that. That can mess up. You know what I'm saying? I can mess up something. But yeah, but we're getting up and down. A good movement, just getting
Mhm.
up and down off the floor 10 times. Oh, someone says that's great. Make sure you really run, Donna. And but the up and down, getting up and down, that could be our part to just getting you mobile, getting you ready for the day, getting your body right. Equate that to making sure that you have your income set up for direct deposit. You don't have to have no automatic withdrawal set up, but make sure at least you get your income direct deposit. I remember when I was younger, one of my neighbors, her social security check came to my house by mistake. And me being the hardworking one person, I think about 2, 3 weeks later, I walked over to her house. And I said, "Oh, this came in my mail." That lady looked like she wanted to hit me. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was like, "What?" But I think they make everybody get it direct deposit now. But this was like, that shows you, there was a long, it wasn't always like that. Yeah, Mr. Jenkins, I'm gonna be careful if I've never done it. Indian stand up. But yeah, your financial mobility is setting up automatic saving, it might be making sure that you have life insurance, making sure that you have property coverage that is correct, making sure you know your deductibles for your car insurance, for your homeowner's insurance. All of that we do in Afroeconomics. That is part of just getting the basic financial house in order. That equates to you moving your body. I should do a study on that. Once I finish, once I finish my existing study, I would do a study on financial fitness and physical fitness. I'm sure, I really feel I have seen my financially healthier clients are the ones who are physically healthier. I do feel that way. But that doesn't mean it's true. It just could be Afroeconomics is that way. But isn't it interesting, Mr. Barton? I feel like that the client, and it could be because bad health is so expensive that it's hard for another person who doesn't have good health to, if you gotta go and pay, $2,000 every month for something
Mhm.
for health, or your health got bad, and this one gentleman I know, he said that because of the way he was fed as a child is the reason he's diabetic today as a grown man.
Mm. Mm.
We have younger and younger kids becoming diabetic and obese and on those medicines. And those ADHD and things like that. A lot of our mental health, not even a lot, our mental health is connected to our gut health. And I can say
True.
that because I'm not a doctor. All right. But our mental health is connected to our gut health. And I have read that it is because when we were babies, our gut and our brain were developing at the same time.
Mm.
So you have gut problems, it increases your chances of depression, of the anxiety attacks. It's not about like what size that person is. Their gut could be so bad that they're not getting proper nutrition and it could be skinny. And we're thinking, we assume that everybody who's small doesn't have any health problems. And that is a really bad, you cannot tell how healthy someone is by their size.
It's true.
Isn't it right?
That's true. Yeah.
I was in a discussion this morning and I was talking about like, I mean, it's heavy. I've been all the way up to 260 pounds with a perfect A1C. That's the difference between without elevated blood pressure. At that heavy. That's the difference between fitness and a lot of muscle and just getting fat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge difference. The biggest shot putter in the Olympics, this white guy, 300 pounds. Now, I chose that it was important for me to start getting lighter. And I've lost weight. But I had to make that healthy choice. And the only reason I was maintaining it, the healthier that I get, the more I lose without even trying. Literally, once you start eating what you're supposed to eat, it becomes very, very hard. For that guy, Ryan, to be 300 pounds, he has to eat probably 3, 4, 5, 6 steaks a day because he's so healthy. It's not easy maintaining that level of muscle once you are like, and you're active like that, right? It's not easy. Like, I know, like that it's, that I fight now as I'm cutting weight to keep my muscle. It is hard to keep the muscle and only cut the fat when your fat is already low. So it's not, that's where we want to be. That's where we want to be. That's literally where we deserve to be. I remember one time I went to the wellness center. The nurse said, well, we're kind of concerned because your body fat is low. I was like, no. Remember we said I'm not normal. So I don't know what the normal for my age group, because when you get to my age group, they act like it's okay to be fat. I'm glad you're not fat, Miss Anderson, because it's not. Literally, as we get older, they should be encouraging us to be leaner, but they don't do that. It's like you're younger, then you can be leaner, but younger women need the fat more than we need it as you get older. You need the fat for childbearing and fertility and things like that. You get older, you're not having children anymore. Like, you don't need that fat. We don't need that weight. God wouldn't allow it to happen if you're supposed to do it. You're doing the right thing. God would, you're sitting here and we're in a system that is fighting against something that God created naturally for us to happen. You get older, you get smaller, you get thinner, you get healthier because your heart is not as strong as it was when you were younger. That makes sense to me. That's what we're supposed to do. People who are lighter on their feet weigh less, their longevity numbers are higher. There's just not going to happen. Like, you see athletes, once they get off that court and they're not running all the time and things, Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal and all that, they had to figure out a way to get their weight down. They had to start eating right. There's a basis, because they knew they would never be able to enjoy their money if they didn't take care of their health.
Yeah, that's true.
A third point after mobility is to strengthen the whole body. Strengthen the whole body. Push-ups. Push-ups, pull-ups. Like the push-up to me is the best exercise. I heard Darryl Strawberry many years ago when he was playing baseball. Some of y'all probably never heard of him, but he said the only exercise he did was a push-up.
Mm-hmm.
Not with the knees, on them toes. The push-up will work your body from your head to your toe. This is YouTube. Go in YouTube, push up. Look at the proper army push up. Do it. Your whole life will change.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it the truth?
Yep.
Plank. For years, I have been doing deadlift, squat, and bench. Deadlift, squat, bench. Deadlift, squat, bench. Until I started running track and field because I was doing the powerlifting competitions. But until I started on track and field and wanted to focus on mobility, literally deadlift, squat, bench will work almost every muscle in your body. You know, you're not thinking about when you're talking about strength, you want to have compound movements. You want to have stability. You want to have strength. When you have strength, you want to help your heart, you know, and then you could add in a military press over your head. But we don't have to do a military in powerlifting competition. Olympic powerlifting is when they do the clean and the press. But the basic, thank you. I'm glad, Ms. Lovett. But basically, you want to focus on strengthening, and the financial equivalent to that would be getting a financial advisor involved. Talking to me about how to maximize what you're doing with your life. We have to strengthen all of our financial segments.
Mm-hmm.
Look at everything you have. Take that time. You don't even, in Afroeconomics, you don't even have to change what you're currently doing. It's about me helping you maximize what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's where the trainer comes in. That's where you can get a trainer at the gym. But when I really discovered that we're 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, bench, squats, deadlifts, change your life.
Yep.
Bench, squats, deadlifts, right? It'll change your life. Even if you did a squat, like where I do the squat and it's on my back, you don't have to do that. If you just do a squat, I read, and you can Google this to check on it, that research found that doing 10 squats is equal to a 30-minute walk with just body weight. 10. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
But do you know how hard it is to do either one? I'll be like, okay, I'm going to get up at 12 o'clock and I'm going to take a walk. You know what I'm saying? That's why I get up at 4 a.m., y'all. But a lot of you have no excuse. I get up at 4 so that I can get that exercise in. But it would be so much better if I could continue to stay active throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm almost addicted to sitting now. Like, you know, the Zoom makes it worse. Like back in the day when we just talked on the phone, you can move. Zoom, we're like, we gotta be right there. Isn't that something? It's a whole new level of you are in it. What you do, like, I mean, I really have to, because as I'm thinking, I mean, I couldn't do and then, but I do need to get more movement during the day. Research has shown that just working out in the morning is great, but it is not maximum health benefit. The person who is overall more active throughout the day does better. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about going from good to great, which is where I want to go. Getting to where I feel great, where I'm flexing my glutes on Facebook. Where you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Where you are just lean all over. That requires that mobility.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that. Like, it has nothing to do with our age at all. At all. But It doesn't have to be going for good to great. We just, you know, if we just want to get better, we have to have that structure. You don't have, you know, I'm telling you, if your doctor has not told you that you need to be strong, then they're telling you wrong. If your doctor does not have a body composition machine in their office, then they are so behind the scenes. If they're still telling you about a BMI that makes no sense, they need to be telling you things like, hey, last year your body fat was at 30%. This year your body fat is at 40%. We have a problem and your muscle is down. And you got a whole bunch of fluid. Your water is up 20 pounds and this and that. That's what they need to be telling you. Not, oh, you lost 20 pounds and you're skipping around excited. Doesn't mean anything. That can turn into huge. And then the next time they're saying, well, you know, your osteoporosis numbers are high and your bone density is not what we like to see. You know what I mean? Well, look, bro, you don't have any body composition in here. We should have been monitoring. I have been monitoring that for at least since everything. My hormones, muscles, body composition, everything since I was in early 40s. I could probably find paperwork from 30s. I do LabCorp, demand blood work, pay all of it myself every 90 days to check my A1C, triglycerides, everything. There's huge connection between triglycerides and your propensity to be exposed to diabetes and heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not focusing on the triglycerides like they should. They keep focusing on your total number. Your total number is not as important as your triglycerides. We'll also want, because they can just bring down your total number with statins, your triglycerides still be bad. And we don't even want to start talking about the side effects of the statins. So it's like we have to be serious about understanding our stuff. And that's where that base is coming, getting the expert. And that's, you know, even if you like talking about this stuff, I love talking about it. That's why I have the health and wealth membership. Health and wealth membership. So we can talk about these connections.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see, you know what I'm saying? Have someone else involved. And then a fourth point is to core exercises.
Oh yeah.
Plank, dead bug.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know these names, look it up. You don't need me to be your fitness instructor on that level. You know what I mean? Look up dead bug exercise. It will make you feel like a dead bug. Sit-ups, that's old news. Crunches, yes, you can do that. Like, you know, even lay your head back, put your hands under your butt, bring your feet up a little bit, about 6, no, not even 6 inches. Say 2-3 inches off the ground. Keep it there for 30 seconds. That's a core exercise. One thing I've noticed about core exercises, like you see how me doing today, like sitting like on my knees and then turn like this and then with weights in my hand. Lord, now that hurt because with the weight, like you can feel it right from your lower, like you feel it and whatever they're called, like these muscles back there. You feel it, but you turn, but that is your entire core. Good for you, Tanae Washington. Like, you know, I give her the ugly face, but I keep on doing it. But what I've noticed about more and more core, like as a person who desires to be a better and better sprinter, it's running is all in your core. Walking is all in your core.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk or you run, don't just walk. Don't just walk. Like, you know what I mean? Look out your window. You see people and they just walking. They just walking. You know what I'm saying? Hold it in. Activate your core.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying hold your breath. I'm activating my core right now, and I'm not holding my breath. Just activate. You can punch. You can hit my stomach. I'm not going down. Activate the core when you walk. Activate it all the time. Just keep it activated as much as possible. And then it will support your spine. Everything in here, it's the big hug. It's just a huge hug to the heart. When we just let it go, then all of the body, the organs in the body start shifting and all these diseases start happening. See, we have muscles all around here, Mr. Barden, right? Like that's a whole, like those whole, abs, like, and just the whole, there's a muscle all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's holding your guts inside
Mm-hmm.
where they're supposed to be. So when we forget about the core, everything starts. And then, do you know how many people have like pelvic floor problems? Only because nobody helped them do this.
That's right.
You start doing your deadlifts. We're not gonna, they say like huge percentage of women have bladder problems. We need the support. We need the support. We need the support. When you start, your stomach start pushing on it and all this stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so the bladder problems don't just come because the bladder gets old. The bladder problems come because fat and everything starts laying on the bladder. Like that's what happens when you're pregnant. You keep having to urinate. It's the same thing. But they don't talk to us like human beings. Like, you got to get that fat off your stomach if you want to stop peeing on yourself. That's exactly what they should say. But they don't say it exactly. They don't say, like, you know what I'm saying? Who do they think they're helping by just, you know what I mean, speaking to us like we're retarded or not speaking at all? Yeah, what we're gonna do is it got the, okay, I guess because that's what some people do for a living. What I do for a living is get richer when you get richer. So everything I want is for you to get richer. I want you to be happier. So I thank God for that career. That kid, like that when you win, I win. Like it's not like a commercial. And the fifth would be cardio. Trying to get at least 8,000 steps or 10,000 steps or 5,000 steps. Get twice as many steps as what you're getting. So what you would have to do is first find out, and I'm not talking about including the gym. I'm talking about like what I said, like what we do after we leave the gym. Then we start counting our 8,000. So we can subtract whatever you saw after you left the gym. I think after the gym, I had like 2,500. I ain't got much more. Let's just say I got 2,500. Now I'm at 2,800 for the day. If I finish at that, it's not good enough. That's why, like, soon as track season starts, and I go Tuesday, Thursday in the afternoon, work out in the morning, and then go to the track in the afternoon. Boom, I get healthier, lean and mean. Soon as it stops, you can eat the same thing, but you're not getting the movement. Your digestive system isn't getting the help. The stress isn't getting the relief. You're not getting the oxygen. It's just countless things that we get. Yes, the membership. You want the membership? Please go to afroeconomics.org. Yes, indeed. And the final, I'm gonna look stuttering. I'm gonna put that up. Here it is. So afroeconomics.com, and it'll have like a click here, or just email me, JB. The best thing to do is email me, jb@jbbryan.com. I don't think I have a sticky for that. jb@jbbryan.com. And even better than that is call 1-844-JB-BRYAN. 1-844-522-7926 and leave a detailed message anytime. And I don't call it mentorship, but I call it membership. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if a person was 18 years old, and I still feel that they should have a membership of Afroeconomics, for our one-on-one time, so that you're still getting all the privileges of any other member. And there's an entrepreneurship membership, there's a family membership, there's the health and wealth. So, but do it. I don't. I feel like, you know, the young people have more discretionary income than we have. Thank you, Mr. Hannah. Don't they? I'll be like, you know, they be spending $30 like it's nothing. That's, look, Netflix membership almost cost $30. Between Netflix and YouTube, they got it. They got it. So they deserve it. They deserve it. And my last point is the cool down. Like, if you know how we wind down, like I was saying about on Friday, you know, you cool down after your workout, walk around, stretch a little bit. Then you can do more of the static stretching if you wanted to. Like if you had something that felt tight. But generally after I work out, I feel fantastic. Nothing feels tight.
Yeah.
I want that for you. I want that for you. No matter how hard I lift, whatever, by the time I finish, my trainer has basically cooled me down. It generally will cool down with the core part. You know, that, you know, we're doing, you know, something that's like still has mobility to it, but we have started to wind down.
Mhm.
How do you cool down? No, like you know, cool down with your finances would be making sure that you have your estate plans in order. Make sure you have a legacy plan and how you want things to be done. I'm a good person to talk to about the legal documents. A lot of times I'm able to save people thousands, hundreds of thousands, just in telling them how the documents could be done this way. You don't have to do it that way. Or make sure you have, like the other day, a client and I were talking about joint tenants versus joint tenants with rights of survivorship. Only married people can have joint tenants with rights of survivorship. So if two unmarried people buy a property, additional estate planning is needed.
Mhm.
And a lot of people take that for granted. So when they have joint tenants, they're assuming that the house will automatically go to the other person, but not if they have children or something. No. So those are two separate estates. Married people are able to create basically the same estate. Your estate, the government doesn't even worry about your estate when you're married, and until the last to die of the married couple. But yeah, there is a difference. There is a difference, Ms. Bullock, with married versus single and the acquisition of assets together when you're single versus married. And it needs to be talked about. Needs to be talked about. Well, you all, I just really appreciate you all. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I really appreciate you, Mr. Bard, and just your and yes, and that really helps. And you are a picture of health, most importantly. Yes, indeed. Tell us again about where well, you told me, but I forgot. Oh, yeah. He's going to Nice. I'm just joking. He's going to Nice. I said, how do you spell that? See, I get blessed. I get to live vicariously within from people. They're going, he travels. You travel. How many different places do you think you've traveled?
About 16 foreign countries.
Stop.
Hmm.
I obviously, y'all, I did not know that answer. Wow. That's so good.
Hmm.
That's such a blessing.
Yeah.
That's so good. I can see that. But I think that's helped you as a person.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like you said, like allowing everyone to be themselves different, you know, like you've met so many different people
Yes.
that you realize like there's just not like a right way or right person, right? There's just people learning to do their life the right way.
That's
Amen. Amen. Well, I hope you all will all be inspired by him as I am. Y'all have a great day. I'll be looking for y'all. I am JB Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer of JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm established 1995. God bless y'all. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Thank you.